Now, the president also disclosed today that 17.7 billion cedis have so far been spent on COVID-19 pandemic.
We have saved lives and fared much better than we had feared and the experts predicted. But the consequences of lockdowns, border and business closures, and unplanned expenditures have combined to have a devastating impact on our economy. The unplanned expenditures included, but were not limited to, the recruitment on a permanent basis of 58,121 healthcare professionals and the payment of extra incentives to our frontline health workers. It took an unbudgeted 1.9 billion cedis to ensure that our children and teaching staff went back and stayed in school safely. Some, including regrettably a few in this honorable House, went as far as to accuse the government of trying to kill Ghanaian children when we introduced the controlled school reopenings. We provided nearly 5 million households and over 10 million people with electricity and water subsidies at the time they were most needed. In all, data from the Ministry of Finance tells us that an amount of 17.7 billion cedis, 4.6% of GDP, has been spent in containing the pandemic since 2020.
He also admitted that government was over-ambitious in the expectation that the Agenda 111 hospital project will be completed within 18 months.
We are undertaking the construction of 101 entities, which comprise standard 100-bed district hospitals for 101 districts without hospitals, with accommodation for doctors and nurses. 6 new regional hospitals for each of the 6 new regions. The rehabilitation of the Afia and Kwanta Hospital in the Western region. 1 new regional hospital for the Western region. And 3 psychiatric hospitals for each of the 3 zones of the country, that is North, Middle, and Coastal. It is an ambitious project which must and will be done, and which will create some 33,900 jobs for construction workers, and on completion, some 34,300 jobs for health workers. Mr. Speaker, I have to report, like all major construction projects, it is evident that the initial schedule we gave for the completion of Agenda 111 was overly ambitious. Identifying suitable sites around the country, for example, has turned out to be even more problematic than had been anticipated. I am now able to say that a great deal of the preparatory work has now been completed, and work has started at 87 of the 111 sites.
Let's go into the phone lines now and speak to the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Mintah Kando. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joining News Prime. The president did admit today that they were overly ambitious with the Agenda 111 and the initial timeline, which is 18 months given to complete the project. He admits that that is not realistic. Do you applaud the president, at least for that honesty?
How do you expect me to applaud the president when he is preparing the minds of Ghanaians towards failure? I don't do that. I don't do that. My brother, we started criticizing this Agenda 111 not today. We've raised a series of questions. None of these questions have even, we have not received any answer to any of these questions. One, where did we come from? We came from, 88 hospitals as a promise.
Yeah.
That they were going to give us 88 hospitals within 1 year. This promise was made in the year 2020. So what it meant was that by the year 2021, we should have had 88 hospitals in all. By the end of 2021, we didn't have a single hospital completed. That was a failure. If that was even ambitious, we could have understood the president. He scaled it up to Agenda 111, 111 hospitals. The president gets back to tell us that now he's going to complete these 111 hospitals in a matter of 12 to 18 months. Then he gets to the floor of the House and tells us that it is overly ambitious. The question is, didn't the president think through this project before before promising the good people of this country? In the 2021 budget, it was clearly stated that they had given about 101 hospitals on contract, 2021. Now the president tells us that even getting sites, and in the 2022 budget, they were even talking about sites. How can you award the project on contract without even getting sites for those projects? Clearly, the president was being economical with the truth. Because look, there's no commitment to the promise Mr. President is making. If you check the 2022 budget, the allocation that was made to Agenda 111 was 518 million Ghana cedis. Now the president tells us that they need about $1.7 billion. Take the exchange rate, the present exchange rate, and convert it and see the amount of Ghana cedis we expect to be able to complete this project. What is the source of funding? What's the source of funding?
Well,
now, the president is saying that in his speech today, he says that now from 101, he has dropped to 87 hospitals. That the contract is ongoing on 87 sites. As the people of this country, we need evidence to that effect. We need a list of all these 87 hospitals so that everybody will monitor these 87 hospitals he's talking about.
And we here at Joy News did try to get information on that using the RTI law, the provision that makes it that gives us the opportunity to request for these information. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything out of it. The ministry has no information.
Exactly the point that you people wrote to the ministry responsible for health in this country, and over the years, every infrastructure in the health sector, it is a Ministry of Health that has been responsible for every infrastructure in the health sector. Now the Ministry of Health drives back to you to tell you, a ministry under the president, they say that they don't have any information with regards to Agenda 111.
So
they started this project,
yes,
hello, can you hear me?
Finish the point, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so when the president broke the grounds for the commencement of Agenda 111, what we were told was that, look, we are going to finish this project between 12 months to 18 months. This is what we were told. Now, the president knows that about 6 to 7 months gone already, so they cannot deliver. So you must come back and prepare your mind that, look, I will not be able to deliver in the 18 months. So he now says that, look, I will deliver before my tenure of office.
Which is the point I was coming to.
When you come back and ask him, why haven't you completed? Oh, it is not the end of my tenure yet.
Which is the point I was coming to, that there's a new timeline now, at the end of his term. You have confidence in that?
How can I have confidence in this? Look at where we have come from. And look, let me tell you what is going to happen. What is going to happen is that, and mark my words, and we start this in the initial stages because we don't even have money to complete what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama left, which of course somewhere even as high as 85% complete. So what he's going to do is that before 2024 elections, they are going to finish some number of hospitals anyway, about 5 or 6 or 7. Now when they finish, then they will put sand at site A, put gravels at site B, put some blocks at site C. Then they'll come back and tell the people of this country that, oh, we have commissioned about 10 or 5. So the rest are ongoing. So give us another mandate. So when we come, we'll come and complete them. This is what they are going to do to us.
Well,
this is
so
what they are preparing their
definitely,
minds,
Mr.
our minds
Kando,
towards.
definitely there are some questions to be answered, and we'll follow up with the relevant authorities to see if we can get some clarity on this. But you have been calling for accountability on how much we have spent on COVID-19. Today there was an update. The president said that 17 billion, a little over that, has been spent so far on COVID-19. Should that suffice?
No. The document of parliament is different from what the president says, and there shouldn't be any disparity between what the president knows and what is before parliament. My brother, if you check the 2021 budget, and as at 2021, we have spent a little over 18 billion Ghana cedis, excluding what we have spent at the end of 2021. And from January 2022 up to today, excluding that amount. So how can the president come back and tell us that they have spent 17 billion, a little about 17 billion? So this is the more reason why we are saying that we must probe the entire COVID expenditure, because what they have presented to us in the budget for the past 3 or so budget is different from what the president stated on the floor of the House today.
Mr. Kando, I'm grateful.
And this is for public knowledge.
Very well. I'm grateful for your time. That's the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Kando, speaking on two major issues today, Agenda 111, and of course the update given by the President on how much we've spent on COVID-19. But we'll stay on the State of the Nation address because the President today also talked about recent incident of coups in the sub-region and related matters here in Ghana.
To be done on building our institutions, but our democracy is worth fighting for. It is up to us to find a way to accommodate each other and our differences, to make things work for the benefit of the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, it might also be well that coup d'etats have re-entered our discourse because of the turmoil in our neighborhood. The West African region is suddenly back in the international news headlines for all the wrong reasons. We're back again as the region of political instability and the place for coups. Long and bitter experience led ECOWAS to its current stance of zero intolerance for military coups. We in Ghana know the cost of instability. It leads to the exodus of our artisans and professionals and the emptying of teachers from our schools.